Hello, little explorers. Today, we're going on an exciting journey to learn about how our green friends, the plants, adapt to live all around us. Just like animals, plants need to survive, and sometimes they live in places that are very tough. Imagine how a rose protects itself. Yes, with thorns. That's a plant's way of adapting to stay safe. Let's dive in and discover more about these amazing plant adaptations. First off, what's a habitat? A habitat is like a home, but for plants and animals. It's where they grow and spend their days. Sometimes, plants find their homes a bit tricky and need to change a bit to live happily. This is called adaptation. Remember, a habitat is just a fancy word for a living place in nature. Just like your home is where you live and grow, plants have their homes in nature. Now, let's splash into the world of aquatic plants. These are plants that live in water. They can be in oceans, lakes, or rivers. Aquatic plants can be floating, fixed to the bottom, or completely underwater. Each type has its own special way of living in water. Have you seen tiny green plants floating on water? Those are called floating plants, like duckweed and water hyacinth. They float because they're light and have a spongy body. Their leaves are special too, with a waxy layer to keep water off. And their roots? They just hang loose in the water. Then we have fixed plants, like the beautiful water lily. These plants anchor their roots in the water and stretch their stems up to the surface. Their leaves sit on the water, coated with wax to stay dry. This way, they can live happily in water without getting soggy. Diving deeper, we find underwater plants, such as the hydrilla. These plants are fully under the water, holding onto the bottom. They don't have regular leaves but are super important because they help make oxygen for fish. Imagine them as underwater gardens. Leaving the water behind, let's talk about terrestrial, or land, plants. These plants live on different kinds of land and need to adjust to their home's weather, rain, and soil. It's like wearing a coat in winter, plants adjust to be comfortable where they are. In wide, open plains, we find trees like mangoes and neem. They have lots of room to spread their branches. Some trees lose their leaves in autumn and get them back in spring, while others keep their leaves all year round. Deserts are hot and dry, but some plants still manage to live there. They store water in their stems or leaves and have a waxy layer to keep moisture in. Cacti are great examples of desert survivors. High up in the mountains, plants face cold and snow. They grow tall and cone-shaped to let the snow slide off. Their needle-like leaves help them save water and stay warm. Trees like pines and firs love the mountain life. In places where it rains a lot, we find lush, green trees that love the water and sun. They have big leaves to catch sunlight for making food. Plants like lychee and rubber trees thrive in these wet environments. Near the sea, with its sandy soil and salty water, some plants have strong stems to stand up to the wind. Their deep roots keep them anchored. Coconut and palm trees are perfect for the beach life. In swampy areas, where it's wet and full of life, evergreen trees with big, broad leaves soak up the sunlight. Fruits like pineapple and crops like sugar cane grow happily here, loving the wet soil. And that, my friends, wraps up our journey through the world of plant adaptations. Remember, plants are important for making paper and giving us fresh air. So, let's take care of them by not wasting paper and growing more plants around us. Thank you for joining me today, and keep exploring the wonders of nature. We hope that you have understood the topic. You can now study chapter notes, watch video lectures, and solve MCQ tests of this chapter on EduRev to ensure you score well in your school exams. And that's not all, you also get amazing courses for maths, science, English, Hindi, and much more for Class 4. Thank you.